Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope yours was as good as ours.
Logan Burnett says Merry Christmas. Danny Boyd says Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
So we had a really nice one yesterday. We had the family over here, and I cooked. You want to tell me I cooked?
Yeah, you cooked.
Yeah.
Andy says Merry Christmas.
Merry
Jean
Christmas,
Brown,
Andy.
Merry Christmas. One of Cat Road Toads.
I made a tenderloin.
You cooked.
It was the biggest tenderloin ever, and I made a.
Jason's Garage says Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mitney Muscle, Dickie Farley. Go ahead, talk about your roast.
It was a tenderloin. It was at least this big.
Was it that big?
It was huge. Actually, it was really big, and I made a mushroom cream sauce, and everybody who ate it unanimously agreed that it was the best food ever in the history of man. So
ever.
Yeah, it changed their lives.
Merry Christmas, everybody. What did you guys make?
It changed their lives.
What did you guys have for dinner? Brian Sabia says Merry Christmas. Does nothing special. Paul Cox, Anthony Perna, Nathan McCree, Jamo's Hot Rod, RMC.
I know we have Jewish viewers and friends.
Yes,
and
happy holidays.
Muslim viewers and friends, and we have black viewers and friends, and everybody who celebrates everything and obviously Hanukkah. What's the Muslim holiday now?
They have Ramadan.
Ramadan, and the black one was what?
Kwanzaa.
So yeah, everyone who's celebrating anything you're celebrating, merry or happy, all of that.
Turkey legs they had. Jason's Garage made a smoked ham. Jeff said, never heard of a tenderloin outside of Iowa before.
You kidding me? We have one every holiday. And that's my tradition. I cook the thing. And it was actually the best meal anybody who ate here ever had in their whole lives.
Food Bar says, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Thank you,
Christmas,
Kathy and
Food
Tony.
Bar.
Merry Christmas, Food Bar. Let's see. Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, James says, Merry Christmas, brother and Kathy's here. Merry Christmas, James.
We were just
I hope
saying,
you had a good Christmas.
We were just saying we got a cold. There you are.
Yeah, there you are. Let's see. At least I saw his comment. You didn't miss it. For a change.
I have like an allergy. Either I'm allergic to something or I'm coming down with a cold, but if I sound weird, that's why.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, what?
MLG in 1969 sent a $300 super chat. Is that a mistake? Did you make a mistake, MLG? Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. That's way too generous.
Unnecessary. Very generous.
That's way too generous.
Did you make a mistake? If you made a mistake, we'll figure something out.
Well,
huh?
I think a portion of that is going to go to pause.
Yeah.
Right.
What is the cat doing?
Thank you so much. We will.
Merry Christmas.
We will divide. We will help spread your generosity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow, that's amazing. We need to send him a T-shirt.
Yeah. Get information from.
Give me your email. Email us at uncletonysgarage@gmail.com.
We can send him a cat. You want a cat?
We can
We're going to
send
send
you
you a cat.
Send us your info.
Yes,
so
please.
we can send you some merch.
UncleTony'sGarage@gmail.com.
Yes. Thank you so much. Let's see. Is he done doing whatever he's doing over there?
The cat?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I don't know. He's been pooping everywhere. She took him to the vet yesterday.
I took him to the vet. Mike B says, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mike.
Flint, Michigan, and Hemi Dark Joe in the house, Joe Willie says. Brian Savia says, at Uncle Tony's Garage, great videos and projects.
Thank you.
Space Cat 72 says, evening, Tony and Kathy, always good to see you. So what'd you guys do for Christmas? No mistake, love your channel. He says, MLG 1969 says, no mistake, love your channel. We really appreciate that.
Yes, thank you so much.
Email us, UncleTony'sGarage@gmail.com.
So nobody's commented on the video from yesterday yet.
Was that yesterday or the day before? I don't even know. Did I put that up yesterday?
You put that up yesterday.
I was so busy, and he came in. He's like, "Oh, I got a video." I was like, "Okay." I loaded it. I was like, "Okay, you watch it. I gotta go do this, and I'll come back and I'll make sure like all the words are there." But like, I didn't even watch it, and I saw like later. I saw the comments, and I was like, "What are they talking about your glasses, Tony?" And I watched it. Holy cow! I was crying. That was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. You did it on purpose, right?
Totally not.
Matt S says keeping warm.
You weren't expecting it though, right?
No, I wasn't expecting that. No.
It was a Christmas miracle.
It was a Christmas miracle. Lee Houston says, I got a set of polished TTI headers today for my 1968 Dart. Nice.
Very nice.
Dakota says, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Dakota.
Let's see. Cope Racing Transmissions says Mr. Magoo.
Mr. Cope, how are you, sir?
Let's see. Hello from Rochester, New York. Evok says, I'm choking on something. Hang on, I need a drink. I'm going to cough. Hang on. Let's see. It was the Shroud of Torino.
Every time that comes up, the Shroud of Turin, that's what I hear.
The Shroud of
The
Torino.
Shroud of Torino.
Let's see.
I almost want to go buy one now, so I can put a car cover over it and call that the Shroud of Torino.
They like your new shirt. Fred Gomez says, love the shirt, Uncle Tony.
Oh,
What
Kathy
does
picked that up.
STP stand for?
Stone Temple Pilots. Right?
Did we get snow? Wayne Buzzle wants to know. We did.
We got ice. We got
We got snow.
well, barely.
There was snow on the grass. There was like a half an inch.
Yeah, half an, but most of it was ice.
An inch.
Yes, and me and my granddaughter were singing Crunchy what was that?
Crunchy the snow pimple.
The ice pimple.
Ice
Crunchy the
pimple.
ice pimple, yeah. Because that's what you can make out of it.
It's like a little pimple snowman. Let's see. Always Keen says, hi Tony, love your channel, heaps of good info.
Thank you.
Rod's Vintage SXS channel says, we have no snow. I'm sorry.
What are you sorry about? I wish we had no snow.
What does the new year hold for UTG?
Oh, confusion, bedlam, hopefully a few injuries. I don't know yet. We have, so... Okay.
Yeah, Dakota, that's where I got it. I got it at the parts store.
Yeah.
I went for something else and I saw it and I was like, $9? Okay. Merry Christmas, Tony.
So tomorrow I'm going to pick up, I think I'm going to go pick up, I got to go look at it. I'm going to go pick up a 4-liter Jeep engine that's broke. So I'm going to tear that down. I want to go inside one of those motors. And then we're also going to do a comparison between that and the Chrysler, between like a block for block, crank for crank, part for part comparison between the 4-liter and the slant. Bigger picture, Plan Z is the first thing that's going to get any attention. As soon as Andy is still, Andy, we're waiting. Where's Casper?
Vincent Caruso says, Merry Christmas from Staten Island.
Merry Christmas. So bottom line is just sitting there waiting. The battery's charged up, the nitrous tank is full, and we're ready to go with that. And that's it. And Sledgehammer is ready to go. So our 3 major cars are all together, assembled. They've all had the major bugs worked out of them. So hopefully this year we'll be able to get out and actually lap them. And which is something I said that this time last year. This time last year I was like, oh, we're gonna have all kinds of action this coming year. We're gonna go here. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do the other thing. I did nothing. I stayed at the shop and I toiled away. But this year is gonna be different. This year we're definitely gonna go out and get some stuff done. And I gotta tell you, these videos are lighting real fire under my ass. I've been watching Drag or Die TV. Like I just got that.
It's on all the time.
Yeah, it's on all the time now, and it's just like now that's what I used to fall asleep to. And then last night I realized I can't really sleep to it because every time an interesting car makes a pass, I wake up. So I'm realizing that over the last few years, the last several years, things have evolved in the world of drag racing that are like exactly ground zero what I consider to be cool and good and everything else. The sport is reinventing itself, and it's reinventing itself in the best possible way. So it's lighting a fire under my ass for sure.
Striker 1553 sent you $20.
Thank you, sir.
It says Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Yamaha RD guy still here. Got the GT 750 anyway. Headed into a huge project and having fun with it. Rode 200 miles before it blew the crank seal. Would you ever consider a 70s two-stroke street bike project?
Probably not. Mostly because I find it to be really addictive. If I like, I've considered getting a triple, a Kawasaki triple, and I have a bug. I want a 69 or a 70.
Are you rolling a cigarette?
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I can't film him rolling a cigarette.
I want a 69 or a 70 H1. It has to be that peacock white with the gray insets on the tank. But I know if I get one, I'm going to get lost in it because I'm a bug for those bikes. So no, I'm going to stay away from it myself. But I'm more than thrilled to geek out on anybody else's.
Brian Sabia sent you $1.99.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. He says, will Uncle Tony build a fox on the channel?
If somebody brings me a fox. Okay, so I still have, I don't know if you guys been with the channel for a while, I still have the old place. I don't have the buildings, but I still have the whole back section of that storage place. And the guys who are now in my old spot have a few Fox Mustangs parked out back in my spot. Right?
They're in your
I
spot.
let them use it, right. So
Well, they should let you use one of those shells. Then.
So I dropped it on.
It's only fair.
I dropped it on him about 2 weeks ago. My friend Breon is there, and he's been working on a C10, really cool truck, and we'll do something on that. But I was tempted to ask him about one of the Foxes there. Let me get a little bit further
Interesting
on
for the new year. I think we're gonna have some new developments.
It's possible. It's possible.
Let's see. Where are the rice balls today? Okay. I didn't make rice balls.
Didn't make rice balls this year.
I didn't do it. I was so overwhelmed with so much stuff and we had too much food, and I was like, you know what? I'm not making them.
At the last minute, we decided not to do
I
rice
bought all the
balls.
stuff to make them, but yeah.
Which is our first Christmas ever
Without rice balls.
It's the first Christmas in my life. So I'm 60. So this is 59 out of 60 Christmases had rice balls involved, and this is the first one that didn't.
Yeah. Henry Frick says Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Let's see. Somebody from Smyrna said Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas from Smyrna. Let's see. Oh yeah, Max Wrangler 578. Merry Christmas from Smyrna. Lee Houston, Tony, what Mopar roller cam has good lifters?
What roller cam has good lifters? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
Where's your Santa hat?
I don't have one. We needed a UTG Santa hat.
I know. We're so busy. We're so freaking busy. Like, when I tell you I don't stop moving. Honestly, I wake up and I just start moving, and I just jump from thing to thing to thing to thing until I pass out at night.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. Like, it's like I just don't stop. And I just can't get to everything. It's impossible.
You guys literally see like
A smidge.
this much out of this much that goes on during the course of.
Oh, it's constant. Let's see. Walking Blue says Fox content for the win.
I will probably not build a Fox myself, but there are enough Fox projects back at my old place that one of them may find their way under my roof. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm. Mexican Spec says, hello, Tony and Kathy. I didn't expect the live tonight. Here we are.
It's Christmas.
It's
How can we not
Christmas.
do a
Merry
live?
Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. A black Santa hat with the UTG logo on the front. Love it. Okay, next year. Toast. I love I love the name. Toast. It's a perfect name. Tony's too busy making his dozens, Matt S says. Or dozens.
Making me dozens and dozens of dollars. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Disgusting.
We just keep stacking it up.
Oh my goodness. Iceman says, can't wait for more extra content. Been working on my girlfriend's 98 Cherokee.
Nice. Yeah. Like I said, tomorrow morning, I talked to the guy yesterday or the day before yesterday, whatever it was. But tomorrow morning, I'm supposed to go pick up a 4-liter. So we're going to tear that down, find out what we're wrong with it, and we're going to build that as a stroker, and then that will end up in our red XJ.
Zero, what's up, Zero? Merry Christmas. He says, thank you to
Merry
Fatal
Christmas,
Family.
Zero.
Thank you, Zero. Let's see. Somebody buy this man a vape stick, because health. Do you want a vape stick?
That stuff.
I got you a pipe.
She got me a pipe because making a video. It's a thing for a video we're going to make.
Yeah. I can't tell you about it. It's a secret.
Yeah. But we have to do it in front of the tree.
Yeah, so we're going to probably have to do it. Well, I'll leave the tree up. I'm not taking it down tomorrow. I'm too tired.
No, the tree's going to stay up
Yeah,
here.
let's leave it up.
That's it.
You were a great help this Christmas, Tony. Tony did a lot. He really did. He really helped me a lot.
I took a first, no lie, right? This was the first day, right? Well, not this day. Friday, was it? What was today? Today's Sunday.
Sunday.
So it wasn't yesterday, it was Friday. I took Friday off.
He did.
Friday.
Stayed home all day.
It was the first, when was the last time I did that?
Never.
Never.
No.
I took an entire day.
Yeah, to help me.
Which I have never really in my adult life ever done. I took an entire day off.
Maybe when the kids were born.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And I stayed at her disposal to do anything she needed.
He went shopping for me
I
like
went
20
shopping.
times.
Yes. I kept going to stores.
Oh, I need this. Oh, I need
Yeah.
that. Can you cook me this?
I did all sorts of domestic things, which was really weird.
Was it weird? You did a
Really
good
out
job.
of character.
You did a good job. And you were so nice about it.
Well, I was trying to be like in a holiday spirit.
Yeah.
You know?
No Christmas music, though.
No, I hate Christmas.
But I found the Kmart Christmas music.
You can listen to that. I put Drag or Die TV on, and that's my music. That's what I listen to.
There's a YouTube channel that just has Kmart Christmas music on it from 1974. Shoplifter in aisle 5. All right, Squirt McGirt sent you $20.
Thank you.
Just a quick update. A while ago, I asked you in Dallas about my 92 F-150. Low oil pressure after overheating. Turns out the OBS oil pressure gauge is just connected to an on-off switch. Only reads 0 to normal. LMAO.
Wait a minute. Read it one more time.
Okay. A while ago.
I got that part.
Okay. Turns out the OBS oil pressure gauge is just connected to an on-off switch. Only reads 0 or normal. LMAO.
Is that the way it is from the factory?
Joe K says, nice Stone Temple Pilots shirt.
I honestly don't know what STP stands for. Somebody said it was Studebaker, blah, 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 because the company was started by Studebaker. I actually don't know what it stands for.
Merry Christmas, Sinister Sounds. Paul Pajuli? I don't know how to say your last name. Sorry if I...
Smith.
Paul Smith. That's that up. It says Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Michael and Marvin, the Chrysler Kit Car, Merry Christmas. I'm enjoying the Studebaker Treatments product shirt.
Studebaker Treatments product, that was it.
There you go.
And then Andy Granatelli bought it. In like 1966? It must have been. 1966 or so.
Tony is lying. He loves the Mariah Carey Christmas song.
No,
He hates Christmas music.
I loathe Christmas music. I don't care who it's by, or it's just, enjoy it if you do. Love the hell out of it if you do. I none of it. I can't deal with it.
See, Peace on Earth says, yep, I saw the Kmart channel. Who does YouTube think I am? Merry Christmas from England. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Torino Elite. So I hope everybody's having a really nice Christmas. I always heard Studebaker tested products.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. All I know is when I was a kid, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, like in the late 60s or very early 70s, STP stickers were on everything. Everything had STP. So it just stuck with me. It's just one of those things.
Murder Nova says, Merry Christmas, Uncle Tony and Uncle Kathy. Take care, brother man. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I wish I could say Merry Christmas to every single person. So many people are saying Merry Christmas. We really appreciate it.
Yes, Merry Christmas to all.
Everybody.
And Happy Hanukkah, and what was the other one?
Kwanzaa.
And what was the other one?
Well, Ramadan.
Muslims. Ramadan, yes.
But
so
that's not
anybody
right
who's
now.
celebrating any of these holidays during this season, the best to you also. That's why I like, people used to bitch about the Happy Holidays thing. They're like,
Well, in New
don't
York.
say Happy Holidays.
There's so many
But-
different.
Yeah, I mean,
people celebrate different things.
I always kind of liked the Happy Holidays things because it doesn't exclude Christmas, but it does include everybody else. You know, there are other people in the world with us.
Custom Nostra 42 says, can you ask Uncle Tony to email me? I have some questions for him. Tony
He's
doesn't
gonna have to
email
get on the
anybody.
line.
There's so many.
Honestly, I avoid. I don't check message. I don't even know why I have.
There's just too many messages to answer everybody. There's just no way.
We do these lives once a week, right? Just specifically for
questions,
that.
yeah.
For questions. So if you've got them, shoot them now.
Let's see. The King's Father Christmas. You don't like the King's Father Christmas?
No, I don't. I just do not
He
like
refuses.
Christmas music.
I like the department store music. I think it's good. The instrumentals. Christmas music, no. Classic Christmas cartoons, yes. Do you like the cartoons, Tony?
Yeah, I could watch them with my granddaughters and stuff. That's cool. But I couldn't just sit and watch it myself.
Let's see. Any good factory iron heads for mild LA 360 builds?
I mean, they're all good. I mean, with porting, you know, the basic 360 head, the J head, and then later, well, J head really doesn't mean anything, but that casting, that series of castings, we're fine, man, fine. Basic porting turns them all on.
Do you not like the Twisted Sister Christmas album?
No.
I don't think I ever heard it.
I don't think
Have you heard it?
I've ever heard it either.
So how do you know you don't like it?
Oh, I just, it's a Christmas thing. I don't like Christmas music.
If it's music and it has
Well, it would be
Christmas
very,
in
very
it.
ironic because Dee Snider is Jewish. I was his father's mechanic back in New York.
I remember when I was a teenager, every pole had a Twisted Sister flyer on
Yeah.
it. Do you remember that? Because they were always playing on Staten Island all of the time, like every day. So every telephone pole said Twisted Sister.
And Dee Snider's father was very Jewish, very, very Jewish.
But he was your customer, your car
Yeah.
customer. Yeah, he worked on his dad's car. MK says, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Let's see. Mike Ken says, hey, Kat, check out Department Store Christmas on Soma FM. Good background music this time of year.
Department Store Christmas.
Yeah.
Drag or Die TV is even better.
Tony likes,
background.
yeah, he likes that. That's all that's on now.
That's all. I've got it on a continuous loop. But that channel, there's no narration, so it's just cars. It's just cars making lap
Yeah.
after lap after lap.
Clayton's Toolbox says, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Let's see. Mexican Spec says, I remember that Twisted Sister flyer outside my junior high school. I had no idea what it was. That was in California. Well, I guess that's once they got bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. They started traveling around a little bit. But they lived on Staten Island, right? His dad lived on Staten
I
Island?
don't live on Staten Island. I think he lived in Jersey.
Oh, did he?
I believe so. I don't know.
Okay. Drag or Die, yeah, 0.
Yeah,
It's
Drag or
on
Die
all
TV.
the time. Let's see.
I think I've watched every video they've put out by now.
Joe K wants to know, was Santa good to your granddaughters?
Yes, always is.
Main muscle. I'd say Dee's old man did since Dee himself does. He did MTV Cribs years ago and had a couple Chryslers in the driveway. You remember what kind of car he had?
No, it wasn't anything of any consequence. It was just whatever it happened to be. Like a Buick.
Tony looks 5 pounds heavier tonight. That's the chair.
Yeah, the chair is 5
The
pounds.
chair is 5 pounds, not his stomach.
Well, she made me fit a chair. Oh, that, yeah. It's a black chair with a black shirt, so I just blended here. Here's my actual boundaries. I'm not that fat.
He ate a lot. He had, what did you eat today?
You made me a big
Fettuccine
giant bowl of
Alfredo.
fettuccine Alfredo.
Yeah.
I took 3 bites, but I was like, I'm full. And then I finished the whole thing. How much pasta was in that bowl?
I made a pound of pasta.
That was a pound.
Yeah. Well, I had a little tiny bit.
You did.
I did. So you probably had you had a lot. Almost a whole pound. What did UK get UT for Christmas? What did I get you?
Did you get me a few t-shirts?
Yeah. And then a couple of shirts, buttons.
Yes.
He wore a
shirts
shirt with buttons.
Yes.
And a pipe.
Well, that's not a Christmas thing. That's a prop.
Well, it's a prop
Yeah.
that I bought you during Christmas season. Let's see. Tony, can't wait to see the finished 318 that David Bizard is doing his magic to.
I have to get a hold of Andy and David soon, catch up with them, because I've been out of the loop. My head's been in so many different places. I haven't really been paying any attention to what's going on over there. But Andy, if you're on, I'll give you a shout sometime tomorrow.
Wayne Ferguson says, Tony, apparently Google says STP, scientifically treated petroleum.
Okay, I think that's what Andy Granatelli changed the name to, but originally it was a Studebaker thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know.
Let's see.
The wedge. The
wedge.
STP wedge.
I ate lots of mozzarella for Christmas Eve dinner.
Lots of mozzarella. I had
Mozzarella.
this was a year without mozzarella for me. A Christmas without mozzarella.
There wasn't, well, there was lasagna, but you
I
didn't
didn't
eat
eat that. All I ate was the tenderloin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And no, I didn't sneak the best pieces of it out for myself. I would never do that.
That means you did. That means you did. You
No,
took the best pieces.
I went nowhere near the Chateaubriand, or whatever they call it. I left that for the guests.
Right. Merry Christmas, French onion.
Merry Christmas.
Let's see. Mexican Spec was reading a thread on free bodies, and they are not positive about the build with DV. On Fabo? I guess they're talking about the build.
Oh, those guys hate
Fabo.
everything. Doesn't matter what I do. I could go pet a dog at the shelter, and they'll find a way.
He killed that dog. Yeah. Let's see. Toast says it's funny to hear about people like you living so close to my dad back in his childhood up at Long Island. Wish I brought him with me to the global headquarters. I was the Dodge Dakota guy. You in Long Island sometimes? We race some.
Deer Park.
Yeah.
And some other place.
drove
Well,
out
Deer
there a
Park
few
was a
times.
regular, but there was another place we raced a couple of times back then.
There's a sketchy part of Long Island.
There's lots of sketchy parts
Sketchy.
of Long Island.
Yeah, I remember that.
The
One
sketchiest
time
parts, yeah.
we were street racing. I don't remember what part of Long Island it was, but we were there because my cousin used to live there, but he lived in Huntington, and it was beautiful when I would go visit him.
Right.
And then you took me to this street race, and I'm like, we're in Long Island. This is sketchy.
Yes, we found all of the sketchiest parts of Long Island, Philadelphia, and
Deer Park Avenue, Hempstead Turnpike.
yep.
Brett McIntyre says, I'm a Ford guy, but love your channel. Oh, here's DeSoto. Oh, yes, hi, DeSoto. Could you? I'm trying. All right. Street racing on icy roads.
We street raced in every condition you can imagine.
What is he doing? Oh, he's got something. Okay.
It was normal as street race and snow flurries. That was, we were so muddy.
Sick in the head. Let's see.
But it's all coming back around again.
Yeah, it is.
It's all coming back around again. This is what I'm saying.
And now you're going to have a Mustang.
I don't know. I didn't say we're going to have a Mustang.
I'm playing with you.
We have cars that we can,
I know.
modify and tailor to that purpose.
Right.
And Kathy and I were literally just talking about this on our way, because we went over to our kids for Christmas night. And we were
Christmas
literally
Day.
just talking about this, on how just right now we're kind of a victim of circumstance because there's nobody in our region, right? There's nobody. I think the closest scene is up in like Louisville, but there's nobody in our region that's organizing or setting up races. Otherwise, we would be there. But there's just nothing going on in this area that I'm aware of. If you know of action in the Nashville area, let's say 50-mile radius, let me know.
It's too easy. You're going to have to truck full. Louisville's not that far.
It's two
It's
and a
really
half hours.
but it's not. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad.
In the grand scheme of things, it's not easy. Look,
We used to drive to Philadelphia. How long was that trip? From
Philadelphia?
Staten Island to Philadelphia.
no, it wasn't bad. It was about an hour and a half.
Sometimes, yeah, it was trafficy sometimes. A little
But it was
traffic.
different. It was different. We didn't have 4 dogs, and like.
Well, we
all
have
the-
a dog sitter now. Let's see. My son got me an I Hate Cars t-shirt and a vintage Cam 2 motor oil can. Still full. Excellent presents. Aw, that's awesome. All hail internal combustion. That's his name. Excellent. Very cool. Chattanooga has lots going on. Michael and Marvin says. Have you heard of anything in
I have
Chattanooga?
not.
Excuse me, DeSoto.
But specifically, what's going on in Chattanooga and where?
DeSoto. Sorry, guys. He does this. Okay, get down. He got a shot at the vets. They don't know what's wrong with him. They have no idea. He doesn't have worms. And his thyroid is fine. That's all I know. David Leonard says, Uncle Tony, if you really want to know what is up with the 318, go to Cabral's channel. Laugh out loud.
Well, yeah, that's
Of course.
generally where I get my updates on everything that I'm doing. If I want to find out what I'm doing, I go over to Brian's channel and I check that out.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Brian.
Yes. DeSoto competing with Don's cat. Let's see. Merry Christmas from DeSoto's Starfish. Jason Fitch.
I got a good view of it right there.
Yeah.
It's huge. The cat's got a giant.
Well, that's because he's got a butt problem.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
They're trying to
I
figure
see
out
that.
what it is. How dare you not pay attention to a cat? DeSoto is very, needy. He's not you know how cats are supposed to be aloof? He's the opposite of that. He's always, up in your business. Whatever you do, he's right there.
It becomes irritating after a decade. The novelty wears off. It's like, get away.
No, he's a little overbearing.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's your opinion on the 1985 Chevy 305 engine? Is it buildable?
Yes, of course it is.
Let's see.
The heads are the real liability on those things.
Danny Boyd says, my cat is needy too, and his name is Needy. With a K. Needy. Yeah. That's the cat's job. Apparently he's always trying to crash these live shows. Yeah. Scratch him until he doesn't want it. No, there's no such thing as him not wanting it
Yeah.
anymore.
He's over here. He's under the table now.
Yeah. That's my cat. He also runs into doorways and falls downstairs. I'm sorry. Dakota wants to know, Tony, is there a way you can make any money racing in today's times?
I don't know, bro. I'm not out there doing it. I'm sure there is. So here's the thing. Forget about trying to make money in a heads up situation, right? Ain't gonna happen. There's just too many sharp people out there. There's too much power. The only way you can make money in drag racing today is like the way it used to be done, old school street racing, where you negotiate before the race. The negotiations were the race. That was the big deal. You can race anything against anything else as long as you've got the right negotiation. So it's going to be a length, 2 lanes, a length, and the break of the tire. That's what's missing. I'm watching all of these, which is cool. I mean, I'm not lamenting that it's missing, but that was like a huge part of street racing back in the day. Was you've obviously got this, and I have this, and now we're going to go back and forth and negotiate our race. But the fun of that is all of the shit that you've got hidden and all of the shit that they've got hidden and trying to guess at what the other person is holding back. And that was as much, there was literally as much fun as it was actually lining the cars up and sending them to the other end. So if you can find yourself in that situation and, where you're negotiating races and it's not just whoever gets to the other end first, then yes, you can conceivably make a pretty good amount of money. But you've also got to be prepared to lose a pretty significant amount of money as well.
Egg Bad says, love to see a budget Vega or Monza build.
So would I.
Yes, so would you.
So would I.
Wayne Ferguson says, Tony was correct as Squirt McGirt has been posting Studebaker took over the STP company in 1961. Did you buy a different brand of litter? What? What kind of litter? What do you mean?
I know, I got the cheapest stuff I had at the supermarket.
Oh, cat litter? No, he's using it. My cat buys catnip from his dealer down the street. Okay. That's a problem. Would Tony entertain a small engine question?
Turn away.
Oh, okay, he's rolling a cigarette.
Shoot, small question.
Small engine
Small
question.
engine
Yeah, go ahead, okay. I'll look for it. Let's see. Did any of those big boys respond to your video calling them out to race on budget parts?
No, that was a while ago.
Merry Christmas, Dickie Farley.
Merry Christmas, dude.
Merry Christmas, John M.
Out there.
I'm looking for Joe Keys. He didn't post it yet.
Small engine question.
Yes. I'm going to scroll it back up and look for other comments. Let's see. Corey Little John says, 20 back in the day, I had a 70 Super B 318 3-speed with a cross carb intake in the trunk. What would that be worth today?
A 318? You mean a 383? A 70 Super B. I don't know. I'm not up on values. She's far more into.
No, not anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, we've both
fallen
kind of
off it,
we've
yeah.
fallen off the map as far as values go because we just don't pay attention anymore. We're not in the business.
Let's see. Slant 6 powered Fox body. Merry Christmas, Ari. Ari says, hark the herald angels sing.
On Dragger TV.
On Dragger TV. Hang on, I'm looking for that comment from Joe K yet. I don't see it yet. He's writing. I'm sure he must be writing. Let's see. Stay salty and buy silver. I'm talking to Zero. Cost 60 says, I'm building a badass Corvair in LA to race your best slant 6. Oh.
I mean, are you going to make the 2,000-mile tow? Because if you are, I'm ready. Let's do it.
No, never turn away. The haters. Oh, you mean the rolling of the cigarette?
No, it's because of YouTube.
Yeah, once YouTube made it 18 and up to watch the live because of rolling cigarettes. Yeah. I don't see the comment yet. Let's see. Oh, they're talking to each other. Hang on. Oh, okay. Joe K says it's a snowblower with a Tecumseh Did I say that right? Engine?
Tecumseh.
Tecumseh. It takes a bunch of cranks to get it to start, electric starter, and it doesn't stay running, even with 2 brand new carbs. Any ideas?
2 brand new cars. So we can obviously, we can eliminate bad gas. We can eliminate a clogged pilot jet. We can eliminate fuel separating on the bottom of the bowl. And so that's gonna. You're answering your own question. So it's either going to be a compression related issue where the motor doesn't have enough compression to sustain itself, or it's going to be an ignition issue. So it could be a weak magneto. I'm assuming it's a magneto motor. So I mean, the easiest, simplest thing is just check for spark. You want to, okay, for a low speed mag like that, you're probably not going to get like a crazy, snapping spark, but you should at least get a blue spark, and it should be able to jump at least 1/4 of an inch. And if you don't get that, if you got an orange spark or there's no distance to it, it's a weak magneto, and or compression. As it's cranking, does it sound like it's got the right compression? Is it cranking too fast? Is it cranking like a monotonous tone instead of like where you can hear each compression hit? So it's going to be one of those 2 things: ignition or compression.
Alaska Railroad says, hello, Tony, from cold and snowy Alaska.
Oh, jeez.
You are an amazingly talented guy. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much.
Cold and snowy Alaska.
Oh, God.
What's that got to be like?
I couldn't imagine.
Some people like the snow.
I know. We get so we've had it for like 4 days now. It's been cold. It's been really cold. And I'm just done with it.
It has been really cold. Like, it was crazy cold for us.
I want to go lay on a rock.
It was 0. It was 0 degrees.
I know.
The other morning.
I know I was out there.
Brett McIntyre wants to know, Tony, what's your take on the Hollywood Fast and Furious idiocy?
Never saw any of them.
Yeah, we've never watched any of them.
I watched. Well, okay, here's something that's funny, right? Here's something that's funny. I tried watching.
You getting a cold, Tony?
Yeah, I know I'm coming down with a cold.
I can hear you're all sinusy.
Yes. I tried watching one of those Fast and Furious movies. I don't know which one it was, but it was so absurd. The opening scenes. It was dancing girls and like.
I saw that when they were starting the cars and they were wearing like glitter shorts or something.
Yes, right.
Because it was just like that.
So yeah, exactly. So it
was not like that.
How would I come from like the really gritty street race days? You know what I mean? So so we found it kind of offensive. It was like,
it's insulting. It
was
really is. It's
right?
insulting.
So I watched about 3 or 4 minutes of it, and I was like, I just can't, right? So this is probably 20 years ago. Recently, I find this guy who does videos on drag racing in Thailand, right? So drag racing is huge in Thailand, right? They race anything and everything that they can. And they do a lot of the stuff that they showed in the, like they got literally, okay, like you can't make this shit up. They got girls dancing
in the back of the
trucks.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay.
Yeah. So in Thailand, they turn their street racing into this elaborate party.
Yeah, they have like music too, where they have like a dance club.
Yeah.
thing.
They got lights going and everything else, and I was like, well, geez, maybe I should have watched that Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah, no, we've never seen it. Just that one like snippet of it, and we were like, what? No. Clayton's toolbox. What do you use to keep poly throttle blade screws in place? Loctite would be bad if one came out and went into the engine. I am changing from the long brass ones to the short stainless ones.
I would keep the long brass ones and peen them. If you're really concerned, of course, you're going to have to drill it out afterwards, right? But I mean, I've never been concerned with the brass screws, coming out. I usually destroy them trying to take them out and end up having to drill them. But yeah, if you open the throttle and you take like say a quarter-inch drive extension, and you pass it through, so you got the carburetor upside down, and you take a quarter-inch drive extension, and you go from the backside to support the throttle blade, you peen it, and they'll never come out. You just take a punch, little tiny punch, and just go ding, ding, and it just spreads the edge of it, and they will never ever come out.
Okay. Let's see. Allie the Retro Kid. Are E85 carbs viable for street cars? I've seen pre-converted carbs, but do you know what it takes to convert an Edelbrock to E85?
I have no idea what an Edelbrock would take. I happen to have an E85 Holly carburetor here that we will do something with at some point down the road this year. But no, I've never messed with E85 myself, so I don't know the ins and outs, and that's one of the reasons why I want to do it, because I want to learn how what it's all about.
Cassidy Schmall says, "Hey UT, I watched the video about the Chrysler oil pan. Does that mean that I can't run my built 413 Chrysler down the quarter mile more than once a day without the risk of spinning a bearing?"
Okay, if you've got the shallow pan, right, which is the normal 5-quart pan, you if it runs hard enough. So basically, anything let's just say slower than 12.0, right? 1190, 12.0. There really aren't enough sustained G-forces to make the oil stand off back like that. Once you're in the 11-second zone, you absolutely need the deeper Hemi/6-pack oil pan. It's like an extra quart in there. And oil drain back becomes a big issue too. But that's beside the point. Sub 12 seconds, anything in the 11s, you absolutely need the 6-quart pan. If you go much faster than that, then you have to go for a deep pan. So let's just say you crack from the 11s down to the 10s. Because remember, all of this stuff is exponential. It's once you're down in that zone, in the 10-second zone, now you're gonna need a 7-quart pan and a special pickup.
Okay. Let's see. Tony, do a G-body project next. J. Russell Finch says, UT, I need to get out those screws. How? They are too small to drill.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Obviously, you need a tiny bit. Use a Dremel. Don't try to use a regular drill. Use a Dremel. And you could drill through the center of them.
Nice Stone Temple Pilots t-shirt.
If you, listen to it. So here's my experience with those. You use a tiny bit, I couldn't tell you what size, but a tiny bit in a Dremel, right? Don't drill from the head, drill from the opposite side, and just drill till you're almost at the head of the screw, right? Then warm it up with the torch a little bit, not crazy, just to get some heat in it, and put a screwdriver to it, and they'll come right out like butter.
Okay, you have to address this comment.
Okay.
Steve B says, Tony hates G-bodies. I asked him 50 times.
Where would you say I hate G-bodies?
Tony doesn't hate G-bodies.
I actually did a whole video not too long ago, maybe a year or two ago, about my love for G-bodies. I actually love G-bodies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he likes them. We had one. We owned one.
We actually had a couple of them.
Yeah.
But we had a Monte SS for a while.
A long time, actually.
Yeah, 2 years.
More than that.
2 years.
You sure?
Well, we had the Pontiac Grand Prix.
I don't do much with gas engines anymore. I've converted to diesel. The price difference is rough.
We had that white '87 Grand Prix with the like the burgundy interior. Remember that one?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful car.
Let's see. Tony needs to do a Tri-5 Chevy.
I leave that to Dan.
Yeah. DD Speed Shop?
DD Speed Shop.
DD Speed Shop. Joe Brennan says, Merry Christmas, UTG. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's see. Bile thing. Loved your mini rant about Project X. They screwed that car up as an EV.
Was that a travesty?
Pillar says Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Did you see the DD Speed Shop is gravity impaired? I did. I saw that today. Did you see the video? It was
I
a
haven't
short.
seen any YouTube at all today.
It was a short. It was a reel. Cute. Funny. Let's see. When my Monte Carlo SS is done, I'm going to drop to Tennessee and bring some real mullet energy to the shop. Besides the Fox body, what Ford project would you want to do?
I love old Mavericks. The early ones, 70, 71, 72. If I did a Ford project, it would absolutely be Windsor based. And a small Windsor. A small Windsor. I like the 302s. Maybe a 331 stroker.
You lose your voice. I'm letting you know now. You probably should take it easy.
I am going to lose my voice.
I hear it. I hear it
I'm
going
getting
away. You're getting sick. Yeah.
Or Fairmont. I like the Fairmonts. I don't think I would do another Mustang only because did Mustang, and it's like it's so cliche and it's so expected. I like the Fairmonts out of the Foxes.
How to visit UTG for traveling through Nashville? Tony's in and out of the shop.
I'm in
He
and out
just
of it,
doesn't
yeah.
stay there all day, so we can't plan visits. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas from Australia.
Merry Christmas.
Let's see. My first car was a 1996 Holden Commodore V6 supercharged. I wish I still had it.
So, in Australia, when you hang the Christmas balls, do they face up?
No, they're upside down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They have to stick them in the ground, like on sticks.
They have to stick them on the ground.
Yeah, upside down. You know, instead of hanging them on the tree from
Right.
above, they're on the ground. Let's see. Can a cold transmit through Wi-Fi? No. Are you sick man? Get well soon.
I'm telling you, it hit me about 3 or 4, well, a little bit longer than that, maybe 5, 6 hours ago.
Yeah.
I had a
this
sneezing
is quick.
fit, and then another sneezing fit, and I feel it come out of cold.
Yeah. Yeah, you sound really bad. You're giving it to me right now, aren't you?
If I've got it, you've already got it. It just hasn't hit you yet.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we had the girls here for 2 days.
Right, yeah. That'll do it.
Please.
Little Petri dishes.
I love them with all my heart. You guys have no idea, right? But they're diseased little things that just, they come in and they leave, and then 2 days later, whatever they're carrying, whatever they brought home from school, whatever, you've got it.
The sickness is going around big time. Been fighting it for a couple of weeks. I mean, we've been pretty healthy. We've been feeling all right, right?
No, 2 weeks ago I had it too.
Yeah?
You remember I was fighting it? It was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Let's see. Did you tell the Jeep owner what was really wrong with it? Oh, they're talking about the Jeep. No, because at first you really didn't know what was wrong with it.
I knew it wasn't a rod knock.
Yeah.
You know, at first, when I listened to it on the video that they sent, or that they posted, I thought it was an AC compressor. It had that kind of sound to it. And then when I went and I started it, I could hear it. It wasn't the AC compressor. It was too tinny. It was too bangy to be the AC compressor. So flux play. And then I put it in gear, and the noise went away.
Yeah. It was a weird purchase too.
It was a very weird purchase.
It was at night, and we had to. The car wasn't at the house. We had to follow them to some parking lot. It was a little sketchy.
It was very sketchy. So
Right?
here was the thing with that purchase, right? Here's the thing with that purchase. So they had it on Marketplace. I'm always looking for good deals on an XJ, right? And I was specifically looking for another 98, and I wanted a 4-wheel drive because I have a 98 2-wheel drive, so I want one of each, right? So that one popped up, and it was $4,800, and I was out, and I just, And then it popped up again, and the price was slashed out from 4,800 to 1,000.
It was high for a while because I had been looking.
Right.
And I saw that it was up for like weeks and
Right.
it was a high price.
Right.
And then all of a sudden one day it was lowered, and that's when I told you about it.
Now, the weird thing about this purchase was that we drove out there. They were in Mount Juliet, about 20 minutes from here. So we drove out there, and we were supposed to meet them. And we got the address, the house, but the truck wasn't at the house. And neither was the guy.
Right.
Instead, it was his wife.
Too. Yeah. It was
Now,
weird.
His wife, she was a very upscale, okay? Like, meaning that the car didn't fit her. The Jeep didn't fit her, but it was supposed to be her transportation. The car wasn't at their house. The car was like...
It's far away.
Yeah, like a quarter to a half mile away in like a public, parking area. Why is the car there?
Yeah, the driveway was empty and the garage was half empty, so it was weird. Like, why are you parking the truck over there?
Right.
Maybe because it's darker there, so you couldn't see like the bodywork. I don't know.
So what happened was they lowered their price, but they didn't want to show anybody the truck until Wednesday, right? And this was on a Sunday. And I was like, I want that truck. So I messaged them and I says, I'll give you $1,000 for it. Right? No question, no negotiation or anything. It's sold right now. And they were like, well, we got people coming on Wednesday. And then they messaged me back and they were like, okay, well, if you can come today. So I did. So I gave them $1,000. In fact, before he even saw the truck, I handed him $1,000. We were standing in the driveway, right?
Yeah, and then we drove.
We were standing in the driveway, okay? And
I was like, what'd you do with the money?
I handed her $1,000, and it says, show me the truck. Because I had committed that I was going to buy it no matter what. And that's how but it was a very weird purchase. So here's what I deduced from that. And obviously I didn't go into the videos because it's just too convoluted. But what I think happened was her old man was the flipper.
Maybe.
Okay? So it looks to me like he bought a Jeep out of a junkyard or somebody's backyard or whatever that had been partially stripped and sitting around. Either he has a body shop or he works at a body shop, whatever it was. And they poofed this thing. They changed the interior, they changed a bunch of the front end parts, they put a new exhaust system on it, and they did the real fast body work with real fast paint job. So it was clearly done to flip this thing real quick for a profit. And then I think what happened was during the course of them like trying to sell it or do whatever, the flex plate let go.
Yeah.
And they were just like,
started making noise.
yeah, okay, this has got to go.
Right.
So I think what happened was I think I ended up taking advantage of somebody who was attempting to take advantage.
I don't know. It's okay. It's all right. Like, I mean, we have to pay to fix it anyway. Like, you didn't fix it. We paid the tranny shop to fix it. So.
Yeah, I dropped it off. I just did not want to. I can't make content with that.
Right.
So it's like I'm going to spend a day and a half ripping this transfer case and everything out of this truck to change the flex plate, but I can't make content out of that because it's not the kind of content that we do.
Right.
So
we paid more for the truck anyway. Because we had to fix it. 1,000 is probably fair for it. I mean,
I think
the interior is clean. The body is really a lot rougher than it looked in the photos. That quarter panel is like they didn't even try.
No.
They didn't even
hatch.
try. Yeah, it's pretty. The hatch is really bad.
Let's put it this way: whether it was worth 1,000 or not, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
The
With
interior is clean.
Yeah.
They do some welding on the floors. It runs okay.
Yeah.
Screw that, Uncle Tony. We would love to watch you fix that XJ. How did it drive? John then wants to know.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, after it's fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
You know, we actually started shooting it the other day, and it was just things were just off. But we're definitely going to do a comparison because it's cool. We have a 2-wheel drive and a 4-wheel drive of identical trucks, same year, same options. You know, they both have air conditioning, power steering, and all that stuff. They have different trim levels, but other than that, they're exactly identical trucks. And we're going to do a comparison side by side, 2-wheel drive versus 4-wheel drive. And let me tell you something. the difference is much bigger than you would imagine.
Okay. You know you're doing good when you're making money off of flippers. Love the picture while Willie Borch's Winged Express. Mike Boyd, R.I.P., teamed up with Mousy and keeps
right.
the recreated ring and Mike's house here in town. Moperman, Kathy, did you see my comment on the XJ? No, I did not. I will scroll up. I am scrolling. Okay. Moperman 1978 says, I'm going to put a locker in the front end of the Project Black Widow XJ 1990 to make it more of an actual 4x4 Jeep.
I mean, I don't know if I would do that. That's going to kill your drivability. Any on-road drivability that you've got is going to just absolutely suck.
Let's see. Merry Christmas from Pickering, Ontario, Canada.
Merry Christmas.
Holtz. My cat is pulling valves out of his 440 heads. Keep calling out the challenge to the big guys to heap coals on their heads.
No, yeah, a lot of water has gone under that bridge.
Yeah.
We should actually take that video down.
Yeah, probably. Have you talked to Steve Maddox lately? Have you talked to him?
I know.
He was very busy.
Steve is a busy
And then
guy.
we got busy. Yeah.
We'll get together again. We'll do another live soon.
Merry Christmas, Grant McGregor's gonna take care of some stuff before bed. Do you know what Jeep stands for? Just empty every pocket.
Just empty every pocket.
But we're gonna paint the red one, right?
Yes.
We
Yes.
have to actually order the paint for that.
Yes. Tomorrow. Do that tomorrow.
Okay. And the seat cover. It needs
The
a
seat
seat cover. Zachary Sandberg. Merry Christmas, Uncle Tony. Can I buy you a lapel mic for better audio on your vids? Yeah, it's on the
I'll
list of
lose
things
it.
to do. No, we had computer problems, so I haven't made any major purchases because I
I
wasn't
have a lapel mic.
sure. It's no, you got to get the Rode one, the one that DD Speed Shop has. You know, that square one that hooks.
Right.
It's on my list of things to order. It's just been like, I have a lot of technical things I need to do with the computer, and that might cost a lot. So, the junkyard call, right?
Yeah, he's doing really good with that, with his channel and all that.
Am I missing something? What's with the taxidermy deer head and dog statue in Steve Magg's video? I don't know. The dog statues, I saw that yesterday, right?
Those are his friends.
Yeah, he takes them with him wherever he goes. Moberman says we have 2 XJ Jeeps 1994 by 4 that we will only use for winter or other off-road use. The 1996 rear-wheel drive Jeep XJ is the daily driver.
Yeah. That's what I'm realizing now, because...
You okay?
No,
Tony's getting a cold.
I'm getting sick.
Yeah.
That's what I've realized now. Now that I've got 2 of them, I can go back to back, drive them both exactly.
Don't talk
back to
about it.
back.
You're going to make a video.
The 4-wheel drive is a good. I want to say. I mean, yeah, obviously people daily drive them all the time, but I think that people who daily drive 4x4 Jeeps just don't know how good a 2-wheel drive is as far as a driving experience goes. So now that we've got the 2 of them, there is such a drastic difference in the drivability between the 2-wheel drive and the 4-wheel drive that the 4-wheel drive, like in my mind, it was like, okay, we'll just use 4-wheel drive every day, right? No, but no.
Don't talk about new content, John M says.
Okay.
You're going to lose it.
All right.
You can't. You have to hold the magic.
Right. Keep
the
the
magic.
magic under wraps. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The 2-wheel drive rocks. The 4-wheel drive.
Okay,
sucks.
Tony. Oh my goodness, what was that?
That's the usual
fighting.
chaos.
Teasers.
It's a Christmas miracle. The sauce bird.
Okay. How's your voice doing? You're gonna lose your voice, and
I'm
then you won't be
probably-
able to make any videos.
I'm probably going to lose my voice.
Should I go see what's going on?
No, they're fine. They're fine.
Girls! I don't understand why Jeep even offers two-wheel drive.
Ooh.
That's what Stoic Steel says.
Dude, if you could drive, if you've never driven a two-wheel drive XJ, a 4-liter two-wheel drive XJ, you don't know what you're missing. I mean, seriously, it's such a fantastic road vehicle. Like, I mean, you're not gonna go blasting through mud with it. You're not gonna do any rock crawling with it, obviously, right? But for rougher roads, light off-road, dirt roads, gravel roads, fire
Traveling.
roads, right? Was that?
Just traveling in general.
Just traveling in general, I'm telling you right up front, okay? I've driven, you name it, I've driven it. The two-wheel drive 4-liter XJ is the single best vehicle I have ever owned. Period. The end. It is a pure joy in all circumstances, all situations. Happy, friendly, go anywhere, anytime. It knocks down 20 miles to the gallon. And it's just, it does everything completely effortlessly. I love that truck.
Franco 2K says, Uncle Kathy, get Tony some Alka-Seltzer colds and flu.
I'm gonna hit the NyQuil as soon as we're done with this.
Yeah. I think so, because the last time you did this, you lost your voice.
Well, that was after 12 hours. Yeah, no, as soon as it was over with this, it's NyQuil and Drag or Die TV.
Is that, oh, you're rolling a cigarette. I was reading
It's
comments.
Christmas.
It's Christmas. Oh, okay. Friend's girlfriend had a two-wheel drive Grand Cherokee. It wasn't bad. I think of it like a Dart station wagon that's a little taller than usual. That's how I think of the Jeep.
She's nailed it. She's exactly right. It's like an early A-body, not even a later A-body, but it's like an early A-body station wagon. That's what it feels like. If you take like a 66 Dart, a 65, 66 Dart wagon, or a Valiant wagon, and you raised it up a good 6 inches off the ground, that's what you got.
I think it's the later ones, because they're square. You know?
Oh, yeah, well, okay, you can make that
67,
comparison.
68,
But I'm
69.
talking about like their characteristics.
Oh, okay.
You know, where it's just very tight, very, very friendly, happy, zip around type of thing.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to drive. Let's see. NyQuil, good stuff, knocks you out. It does. But then you get the NyQuilma and the NyQuil hangover. I get a hangover from it. Like the whole next day I'm foggy.
So,
Do you?
so for daily driver, right? Daily driver with very occasional light off-road use, I would rate the two-wheel drive XJ a 10, a perfect 10. And I would rate the four-wheel drive a 6 minus.
Okay, you're ruining the video.
Am I?
Yeah. You're giving everything away. You're not going to be able to do that
I'm just
video now.
saying.
Peter Kovac says, I like square-shaped vehicles. I do too.
It doesn't mean I'm getting rid of it. I love it, and it fills a role because I do want something I can go off-roading with. And I do want, I want to take my girls off-road.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, well. Yeah, well. When you get snow or whatever it is, I want something that,
So did you see that truck at the end of the block doing donuts? Did
No,
you
but I
see
saw
that?
the- I
You
saw
saw
the
the marks? Who's doing donuts at the end of our block? People. Let's see. Hot tea and dark rum.
No, NyQuil. Just NyQuil.
Just take a good shot of moonshine or whiskey for colds.
No, NyQuil.
NyQuil.
The NyQuilma.
Let's see. There's only 300 people watching, and we're the elite of the UTG community. A few spoilers will be okay. No, it's not that people are hearing it. It's that if he talks about it, then he's not going to want to do the video
She's right.
because he's getting it out. He's like, he's opening the bottle.
It's like it's like this autistic information vomit thing that I do.
Yeah, and once it's out, then it's like, okay, I'm done with that. I don't have to do it
I
again.
can't go back and do it.
Can't go
again.
back and do it again. Yeah, that's why I'm like, shh.
She knows me better than I do.
Yeah, don't talk about it. Scotty Kilmer did the donuts. It was a call out, Tony. Roll up your windows. Let's see. Ari says, I wish I could have the 4-wheel drive version of my Apache. I could run a push bar and finally deal with all these folks that forgot what through traffic is.
Yeah. You put a cow catcher on the front of it.
They're teasing Tony to come out and do donuts with the Charger. We moving that car tomorrow?
That's the schedule.
That's
Tomorrow
the
morning
schedule.
we're gonna go pick up that 4-liter, and
Okay.
then we're gonna move
So I have to work tomorrow. Is that what you're telling me?
one step at a time.
Okay. Danny puts his video about the newly found New York City Buick Street Racer.
I saw that. I didn't watch the whole video. I watched a few minutes of it. But yeah, it was that car was very typical. There were cars like that everywhere, all over the place back in the day. That was a very common thing.
I didn't see it. Roll up your windows and flush the toilets. Check your fluids.
But my friend Scotty was the king of those things. He had to do some recording. It was a bottom 11-second car, like on no traction. PG performance. He runs a pro mod car now, and that his Buick was the king of the heap as far as those things go.
Hoobies. Oh, you're talking about somebody else. He's talking to somebody else. What? Mouth breather? Drive zero? I don't know. Harry's saying something about a mouth breather.
I'm breathing through my mouth
You
right
are,
now.
yeah, I know. So do you want to end early tonight
No,
because you're
keep
not
going.
feeling good, or
Keep
okay.
going.
Let's see. Sugi says, "Hey, Uncle Tony, what's the maximum quench that you can run in a race only engine? I was planning on running 0.028."
That's loose. The wisdom, the stock eliminator, stock super stock guys, was the wisdom is if the pistons aren't hitting the heads, you're leaving power on the table. I think that you could go as far as probably 5 or 6 thousandths of an inch. Because obviously you're checking that cold, and you got to have some growth on the piston, you got to have some growth on the rod. So I think you could probably bring it as tight as 6 thousandths of an inch, and you're safe. You're safe.
Franco says, "Tony, my favorite was Joe Spino's Olds 98. That thing hauled."
Yeah, I remember that car. Yes, I remember that car.
TB says, "How many miles on the 4-liter would make you not look at an XJ? How many is too many?"
I don't know. Our red one has 180. I've put 51,000 miles on it. The black one's got 210, and the motor sounds perfect. Now, I don't know if it's the original motor from that truck. It's a sketchy truck, but the motor itself is perfect. I mean, there are guys that get 350, 400,000 miles out of them before they got to be cracked open. So I don't know. Now, my 98 has a piston noise. It's had a piston noise since we bought it. I bought it needing a motor. That was the deal. It was like the owner was like, "I need a motor."
You keep driving it.
I'm like, okay, fine, and I'll just drive it till it grenades itself. 4-liter blocks are a dime a dozen. It hurts a block. I don't really care. So, but yeah, that was 51,000 miles ago, and it's still our daily transportation.
It makes a lot of noise.
It makes a lot of racket, but damn it just keeps going and going. So this 4-liter that I'm going to go pick up tomorrow, that we're going to cover on the channel, is slated to be the replacement engine for the one in the red extra 2-wheel drive.
John M says, "Do you ever watch Graveyard Cars?"
Not really. I've seen a few episodes of it. I mean, I don't know.
Joe K says, how was the cold snap in Tennessee? Do any more
Cold.
cold starts? There's content for you. It was pretty brutal.
It was pretty brutal.
It hurt.
Everything started though.
Yeah. Let's see. Talking to each other.
I didn't see puddles of coolant under any of my cars, so
Yeah, that's
I
good.
guess we did okay as far as antifreeze.
4.0 is one of the best ever built.
I got to agree.
Stevie B says, Tony, is Dallas still making videos? Do you keep in touch?
Yes, he's still making videos. I haven't been in touch with him.
He said Merry Christmas.
Oh, we did?
We had Dallas yesterday on my post. He's like, Merry Christmas, guys.
Oh, okay. But no, we'll get together.
He's just so busy. UTG 4.0 cold start. UTG, you ever run across any two-door XJs?
There's one that I tried to go look at the other day. It's an earlier one. I liked the 97 and 2001. This was like a 94 two-door. And it had the whole front axle was just like bent under the front of the truck. But the rest of it looked really clean. The interior was nice, had no rust or anything like that. Front fenders were crunched from the wheels hitting them. But it was cheap. It was like $700. So I was like, oh, I'll just go pick that up and put it on the side and see what happens. But
I think they sold it.
Yeah,
I think I saw my messages that they sold it. What's rust like in Tennessee? I'm in Michigan, so it literally doesn't get any worse.
Yeah, no. We're in a sweet spot. So we're in a sweet spot right here. If you go 100 miles north of us, which is Bowling Green, Kentucky, 100 miles north of us is where the jet stream typically comes down and then heads up to go to the northeast. And if you go 100 miles south of us, you're in the Gulf. So you have all the salt air, like the atmosphere that rots cars, like Florida rot, like where the roof corners rot and stuff like that. So from Bowling Green north, you've got winters where there's a lot of snow, a lot of salt and everything else. But here, and it's like you make a run through, let's say, Oklahoma, right? Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina, like North Carolina, South Carolina region. It's like a strip, and it's like a sweet spot where nothing rusts. Very, very little salt is used. There's no salt in the atmosphere. So yeah, we're very lucky in this part of the country.
Good grief. Joe Brennan sent you $5.
Thank you.
Says Merry Christmas UTG. This is the best community on YouTube.
Thank you.
You guys make it the best community.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Joe. Let's see. Wild woof woofs, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Rust Belt sucks, yes.
Well, I know all about it.
I can't believe Roy Dename stole Don Schumacher's funny car and truck and raced it without painting the old name out properly.
Roy never did anything like that. Roy was the boss.
Mark, I'm going to mess up your last name. Rapitu? Sent you $10.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Tony Mopar.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Mark. Merry Christmas. Joe Brennan, oh yeah, that's what she does. Eddie Navarro says, hi, quick question. Will vinegar damage anything if you pour it down spark plug holes?
Don't leave it in contact with aluminum for too long. I made that mistake. I killed a set of pistons. I had a stock set of pistons, 3 to 3 pistons that I wanted to use, and I soaked them in vinegar, white vinegar, overnight to free them up, to free up the rings and all that. And it worked on almost all of them. There were still a couple of them tight. So I put them back in the vinegar and I let them sit, I guess maybe like 2 more days because I was busy and they were just out of sight, out of mind. And when I plucked them out of the vinegar after sitting for that extended period of time, they were all, they had like the consistency of golf balls. Like the vinegar had started to actually eat the aluminum. So vinegar is okay for a period of time, but not for too long.
Franco says, I know the real story on Schumacher's car.
I'm sure you do, Franco.
Let's see. Um, Speak Big Truth says, why does the Subaru Boxer engine have so many flaws?
I don't know. I do not know.
Mike Brunello says, Tony, do you still have that Ram Charger? I think it was gray. It had a 318.
No, the Ram Charger's been gone for a long time. No, it had a 360. That was okay. So that Ram Charger was a perfect example of like the kind of stuff you get here in Tennessee, because it was an 86, right? Was it 86
I don't remember.
85 or 86?
A while ago.
I don't remember. It was so there wasn't because those things rust. There wasn't a speck of rust on that truck. The frame rails were perfect. The body was perfect. I regret getting rid of it because at the time I didn't have the space. We were still at the storage unit. I was jammed up. I had everything in the shop. I had the back part of it. For me to keep that truck and do anything with it, I would have had to expand that area, and I didn't want to do that. So it had to go. But I do regret getting rid of it. If you go back and look at the videos of that, because we left the videos up on that thing, that truck was freaking clean.
Yeah, it was nice. Good night, John R. Merry Christmas.
Can I go?
Let's see. They're talking to each other. Eddie Navarro says, thank you so much, Tony. You the MF man. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Let's see. Rod Hendricks. Are 302 casting any good for LA 360s in mild builds, not over 5,500 RPM?
I would still do some cleanup porting on it. The 302 castings that I've looked at need a lot of work on the exhaust side. And it's just because of the way they're cast. Like if you run your finger, if you stick your finger in the exhaust port and you feel along the top part of it, you'll feel that there's like a droop. And some of them are a little worse than others. But that needs to be cleaned up. And if you pop the valves out of it and you look at the bowl, especially on the exhaust side, is very, very intrusive. So yeah, I would say that the 302s with just minor cleanup porting for a daily driver type of 360, where you're looking for torque and you're looking for everything to be in, like, let's say under 5,000 RPM, 4,500 RPM, I would say those heads are perfect for the job.
Harry Australia says, good day.
Good day.
Woody says, hey, Tony, do you remember when you sold me those small black headers from the Ram Charger at the old shop? I put them in my van.
Oh, who was that?
Woody?
Woody. Yes. How you doing, man? Now, was that truck clean or what?
Well, on Christmas even, yeah. Mint, yeah.
What was that?
He's making the mint sign.
Oh.
On Christmas even, yeah.
Mint.
Let's see. Adam Amoni, UTG, what are your thoughts on converting carb Mopars to fuel injection?
I would never do it. If it was born with fuel injection, well, I'll tell you what. If it's a throttle body injector, I would definitely swap to carburetor. But beyond that, once you get into the magnums and all of that, no, I would work with the fuel injection system that's there. So there are circumstances where I would definitely swap from fuel injection to carburetor, but I can't think of any carbureted situation where I would switch to injection.
What are your thoughts on oil additives like Lucas in old manual transmissions?
Never used them. I've never used them, so I don't really have any thoughts on that. I found that Gear Lube or ATF, I like to use ATF in my manual transmissions. And in fact, Chrysler used ATF beginning in, I guess it was like 1976, 1977, they started using ATF in the 833s. So I like to use ATF in those.
Thank you, Tony. I learned a lot from your videos. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Zugi says. What was a good foreign 70s era muscle car? Foreign.
That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm drawing a blank.
Let's see. Datsun Z.
Well, yeah, but I don't consider that to be a muscle car. It was a sports car. We had two of them.
Rice balls? No, we didn't make
We
them this
didn't
year.
make rice. First year of my entire life, there was a Christmas without rice balls.
We had too much food. Not enough time. Jeffro Bodine says ZDDP treatment for old flat tapper cams? Question mark.
Yes. Yes.
Mexican Spike says Jensen Interceptor with a Chrysler 440.
Not a muscle car. Yeah, you have to define what muscle car and sports car. You know, pony cars can be muscle cars, but sports cars really can't be muscle cars. In my opinion.
Let's see.
And the Jensen Interceptor is a sports personal luxury car.
No Arancini. I wish Ari was short for Arancini. No, we didn't make it this year. We had too much food, too much going on. Hubie's Garage says, UT, do you know or know of a good resource for Hillborn injector setup/tuning?
Don Enriquez is about 100 miles north of here in Bowling Green. He works for Holly now. There is nobody on earth, that could hold a candle to the knowledge between him and Gene Adams. They have perfected and worked with every variation of mechanical injection you could think of. I would try to get a hold of Don.
Okay. Let's see. Mercedes 300 SEL 6.3 or 450 SEL 6.9.
Muscle car?
Muscle car? I don't know. I have a whole batch of fudge to myself, Harry says. Uh-oh, that's...
You're going to get fat, Harry.
And diabetes.
Yeah, don't get diabetes.
Don't get diabetes. MSR says, I took off the tune port injection and went with a carb. Got a second better ET. Then I put a Phytech 1200 and picked up another second ET.
It just means that your tuning on the carb was way off. If you could pick up I can see picking up the second, and that's a big chunk, right? I can see picking up a second going from the TPI to a carburetor. But the only way you could have possibly picked up a second going from, because that was a 2-second improvement over the TPI, if you stop and you think about it. The only way you could have possibly seen that kind of improvement was if the tune on the carburetor was way out. You okay?
Just tired. I'm just
I'm
tired.
tired too.
Yeah.
How long are we?
We're on for an hour and a half.
Okay, just a little while longer. We'll pull a plug early tonight.
Marine Diesel Engineering says, is the new Edelbrock Dominator boost reference for blowers? Do you know? Thanks.
I do not know.
Jesse Bard says, did you ever meet or hear of a racer from Philly, Jack Culp?
No.
No. Diabetes.
Diabetes. It was a Wilfred Brimley.
Yeah, Wilford Brimley.
Don't get diabetes.
Zali Speedshot 20. What have you done/think for the 4.6 liter V8 Ford engines? Getting new to me Grand Marquis. Grand Marquis for a shop car.
Talk to Andy from Unity Motorsports because he's into those engines. Me, I know nothing about them.
Let's see. No C3 Corvette L88 and 454 tagged as a muscle car.
I don't see Corvettes as being muscle cars. Muscle. So nobody ever called a GTO a sports car. Nobody ever called a Roadrunner a sports car, right? So in my mind, a muscle car is a basic car, like a regular car, that has hot rod stuff in it. So bigger engine, gears, suspension, whatever it happens to be. It's a car, it's a regular passenger car that's been beefed up. A sports car, on the other hand, is something that's intended from the get-go as something that's going to be sporty, right? So you can't call a Roadrunner, a Plymouth Roadrunner, a sports car the same way you can't really call a Corvette a muscle car. But you can race them against each other, and that's just fine.
Mike Rundell says, Merry Christmas. I picked up a YN dual port intake for 318. Jokey is cracking me up. Tony needs to rest his voice and Kathy needs to sleep so she can get up and work tomorrow. Pretty much.
We work every
I'm so tired.
every day.
All right. Can't be tired. Jason Fitch, I had some fudge with the Mexican Coke and turned into Wilford Brimley. Mexican Coke is good. Franco, back in the day, the hot guy for injection was Jim Kinsler.
Well, Kinsler's still around, isn't he?
You know, I saw one of those setups, $3,000. Did you see it?
Which
On
setup?
Facebook?
A Kinsler?
No, no, I don't remember what.
Hilborn?
Yeah, Hilborn. It was
Stock
nice.
injector for which?
What? I was scrolling really fast and I saw it. It was for sale and it was $3,000 and I was like,
Franco, Gene Adams gave me my first nitro tune-up. And then that's the one that I kept modifying as I went along and put that on a dozen different cars.
let's see. Zachary Sandberg sent you $5.
Thank you, Zach.
Do you ever watch the YouTube channel Rare Classic Cars and Automotive History? Another amazing channel like yours. Merry Christmas from Sarah and I.
I have not. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you. You should check that out. Rare Classic Cars and Automotive History.
I would check it out, but it's going to interfere with my viewing of Drag or Die TV.
That's all he watches now. It's like,
all I watch now.
vroom, vroom. All night. Same thing. No talking. What's funny is that you'll be watching it and I'll be like on the phone scrolling or reading something and you'll be like, look at this run. And you'll go back. And I'm like, what am I looking at?
Listen, you go to,
It's so funny. He's so into it. It's really cute.
you go to church,
Yeah.
right?
And
I watch Drag or Die TV.
right. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. All right. That's fine. Yes, Adam at Rare Classic Cars. Awesome.
I'll have to give that a look.
Merry Christmas from Staten Island, New York, Roger Steller says.
Thank you, Roger. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Did you have pastosa for
Staten
Christmas?
Island. Shaolin. Tell me
I
how
hate
they
that.
got.
Yeah, I don't know where that
Tell
comes
me how
from.
they got
So
Shaolin
stupid.
out of Staten Island.
Wu-Tang Clan made that up.
The Wu-Tang Clan comes from the
Park
neighborhood,
Hill.
our shop, our second shop was in the same neighborhood as that. And that's when it started, back in the 80s, like 85, 86, 87. And they started calling Staten Island Shaolin. And I have no idea.
It's from, I guess, their song. I don't know. I didn't know that until like a long time after.
Really?
Yeah. Because I don't listen to that kind of music.
Yeah, well, I was out on the streets then.
You were on the streets. You didn't know that either.
Of course I did.
No, you didn't.
What, the Shaolin was Staten Island?
Not in the 90s.
Yeah, in the 90s.
No, I was sitting next to the guy. Remember okay, so this is a story that I used to paint those Christmas balls for that lady that sold them in Bloomingdale's.
Yes?
Okay, so the artist that was sitting next to me, he showed me a CD cover that he made, and it was the Wu-Tang logo.
Okay.
So he created that logo, and I was like, I don't know who they are.
Well, he may have created the logo, but they were calling it Shaolin long before that.
No, when? When he made their logo? Wu-Tang Clan logo? That was in the 90s. So it wasn't long before that.
Was it?
I want to say
Okay.
like in 96,
All right.
97.
No, it has to be earlier than that.
No. 96, 97. I want to say at least 97. I was doing that for that woman,
All right.
the
'cause- all right.
Bloomingdale's.
I'm having a gap in years
Yeah,
because
you
I'm
are.
picturing the shop that was 83, 84. right? Or 84, 85. 83, 84, 85 was the shop in
Yeah, but
Exeter Park Hill.
they didn't
You're
exist
right.
yet.
You're right. There was a gap. There's a gap of about 10 years there. You're right.
Wu-Tang Clan is heavily influenced by Kung Fu. Yeah, so the artist next to me made that logo. I hope he made a lot of money on it because he was making $6.50 an hour with me painting stuff for Bloomingdale's.
You had some crazy gigs.
Yeah, I hand painted Christmas ornaments for this woman, Sarabella. That was the name of it, Sarabella. She made these ornaments, and we had to go into like this little studio and go hand paint these ornaments, and she would sign her name on them. And he sat next to me, and he's like, "Look at this logo I made." I was like, "Who is it?" He's like, "Wu-Tang Clan." I was like, I don't know." I was like, "That's cool, good job." And it's like afterwards, I was like, "Wow, I hope he made a lot of money on that." They probably didn't even pay him. Do you know how much merch they sold with that logo? Okay, Wu-Tang Clan formed in 1992. Okay. Rolling cigarette. All right. So, you've heard of her? Who have you heard of? Rob's Classic says, "Oh my God, I've heard of her." Who? Sarabella? Yeah, I painted the ornaments that she signed her name to. Go me for $6.50 an hour. This little sweatshop. And she would bring her kids in. They would go play hockey because that was expensive to send your kids to hockey.
Yeah, that's
They'd
right.
bring her kids in for lunch, and she'd buy them like all this sushi, like hundreds of dollars worth of sushi, and we're sitting there like, she's like, "Paint faster." I'm like, oh my God, this is a nightmare. Oh, yeah. Canada Dry, I ain't drunk one of them in years. Oh, yeah, they're good. Tony drinks it all the time. Forget Wu-Tang. Everybody, Wang Chung tonight.
Oh, God.
Funny. Once you have a Verner's, you'll never want to drink Canada Dry again.
Have you ever heard of it?
How do you get into designing logos for people? You just start designing stuff. And then you show people your stuff. And you keep making new stuff.
Prepare for a lot of rejection.
Prepare for rejection and crazy people. Demanding people. People that don't want to pay you. You're pretty artistic, Dakota. You have to make a portfolio. You need a portfolio of your work. But decide what kind of work you want to do. Either graphic art or illustration or so many different areas. Ari says, "I need you to make a logo for my channel now." I've made people logos for their channel.
She has.
I
She's
have.
made a bunch of them.
Yeah. I made their t-shirt designs too.
Yep. There's a lot goes on that you guys we don't cover.
No. Why would we?
But yeah, she's done logos for people and t-shirt designs and
All sorts of things. Dakota says, "I just need to make money in any way besides a regular job." Oh. Well, I don't know. If you want to do graphic design, make a portfolio. Decide what you want to... Where's an area that's not flooded? Or something that you stand out at. And go with that.
you're at that point in your life, man, Dakota, it's like find the thing that'll keep you out of the job system and you'll win. You know what I mean? But you gotta do it now.
Yeah, but like, I work so many crap jobs just like trying to make money as an artist. Like, I've done so many demeaning things
Well, people don't understand, right?
just to make a living.
Being self-employed means you're going to go through great periods of famine and then a little bit of feast and then back to famine and a little bit of feast.
Yeah.
But you have to get used to that. Like, you have to know.
You gotta be okay with it.
You have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with, okay, I'm making all kinds of money today, right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good, right? Tomorrow, it goes to famine. right?
Yeah.
Because that's the cycle. For the last few years, we've been doing YouTube, and we make really good money off of YouTube. But I know tomorrow, famine is right around the corner.
Especially like in the art world or design world, like things are constantly changing. Trends are changing. Things that people want are changing.
Yeah. So you have to be, if you're going to be self-employed, you have to not only expect that you're going to go through those wild swings. Where 1 minute you're on top of the world, and the next minute it's like, how do I put gas in my car, right? You have to not only do you have to accept that, you have to actually look forward to it.
You need a lot of intestinal fortitude.
You need intestinal fortitude.
That's the word I can think
Right.
of. Yeah, the phrase.
You have to look forward to it. You have to look forward to it. Because it's the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
That's what stops people, right?
Because it's scary. Like when you're doing something for the first time, you don't know how it's gonna go, and
That's
you're
the
putting
truth.
yourself out there. Like it's scary.
When it turns, because like the pendulum's always swinging the other way, right? And you get the peaks and you get the valleys, and when you see yourself heading to the valley, most people get freaked out. They're like, we're gonna lose everything. I'm gonna live in a cardboard box, right?
But you have to be okay with that.
Well, first you have to be okay with that,
Right.
And then second, you have to embrace it as a period of new challenge.
Right. You have to know that you would have the best cardboard box that
Right.
it could be. And you
Exactly.
would make it as awesome as you possibly could. And you would climb your way out inch
Right.
by inch.
Right. The saying is, throw me to the wolves and I'll come back as their leader.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you take that mentality and you just implant it on your life's, blueprint, right? No matter what situation I'm in, I am going to conquer that situation. As long as you have that mindset, then you will go through life fearless and you will do amazing things.
Mm-hmm. More prominency in Dakota. Start with Vistaprint business cards, $500 for $25. Make your own cards on their website.
I would look into 3D printing stuff. There's so many new technologies that have like broad applications, and
But I don't think you can make money doing that. Because so many people have them, and they're
find a niche. Find a niche.
yeah, but you can end up investing a lot of money in something like that.
It's not a lot of money anymore. It's cheap. We're going to have an industrial resurgence in this country 5 years, 8 years, 10 years down the road. So start setting yourself up for that. I mean, there's so many different opportunities.
Okay, so we got like 15 minutes left.
Okay.
I don't know if I can hold this phone a bit longer. I'm tired. Yeah, okay, Dakota says, I appreciate it, y'all. I haven't found it yet. I don't know, just look for like where there's a need. You know, what are people looking for?
And be flexible.
Yeah. Yeah, don't ever try and determine what people want.
Right.
Like, you have to let them do that. You can't be like, oh, you're going to want this. And then be disappointed when nobody pays you for it.
So, Dakota, do simple work for people, right? Do simple work. Do brake jobs, oil changes, fix broken headlights. So whatever it happens to be, get in your circle of neighbors and friends, schoolmates, whoever it is that you happen to be, and let them know that you do minor work. They need their tires rotated. You can do that. Build a foundation of commerce that way. So this way you've always got some income coming in. You know what I mean? That just the 60, 70 bucks you're going to make for swapping somebody's brake pads, it adds up.
My best advice would be to start with the smallest thing.
Yeah, start the smallest thing.
Do the smallest job, whatever it is that you choose that you want to do. Like, don't be like, oh, this is my career now. Don't even think of it like that. Just take it like as one small job at a time and just build on that.
Dakota, life is like a frozen rusty bolt. Okay? No, I'm serious, right? Life is like a frozen rusty bolt. You have to work it slowly, back and forth,
Yeah, slow.
and
Yep.
determination on it, right? Just stay determined. I'm going to get this bolt out. I'm going to get it out in one piece, right? So you get your wrench on there, right? And you knock it, right? It doesn't want to move. You knock it back the other way. It doesn't want to move. And you keep going back and forth and back and forth until finally you get just that tiny little bit of movement, right? And then you start exploiting that movement. You know what I mean? So it moved 20 thousandths of an inch. Now you're going to get it to move 25 thousandths of an inch. You're not going to actually really see the difference until it's swinging like this, but you know it makes a difference. So you just keep going. You keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you just keep exploiting the limits. It'll only go this far. Don't push it too much further than that. You'll break it. Go back the other way.
That's when you undo yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So think of life like trying to free a rusty, stubborn bolt, right? And just exploit. You have to exploit the free play. You know what I mean? Exploit what's there in front of you, what you have, and just keep pushing it, but don't push too far. And eventually, the thing screws itself right out.
Mm-hmm. Auntie says, start on side jobs. I'm working full time in side jobs on old iron, mostly Model A Fords.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, carburetors. There's that girl, Riley.
Yeah, she's making a ton of carburetors.
She's making bank.
Yeah.
She's making
You
bank.
just gotta promote yourself, right?
Yeah. Small engines. Do small engines.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different things that a young guy can get started in. That just good word of mouth will get you regular business.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do it from there. So what I was saying was, so through the course of my life, I always had my mechanical skills and my toolbox so that I could always make a living. And that allowed me to try all different things. So on a whim, let's try magazine. Let's go into magazines. Boom. And that worked out for me. So that lasted for years. I made good money with it. And then I didn't want to do it anymore. And because I could always go back and turn wrenches, I had my toolbox, I had my skills. Okay, enough of that. I'll go back and I'll turn wrenches for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, until the next thing pops up. And it's been the same thing with all of these businesses. Her and I have been in, I can't tell you how many businesses. And most people, they go into a business and they're like, oh my God, we have to borrow money. We're going to have to research this. We're going to have to do that.
Don't borrow money.
We never borrowed a penny.
Don't borrow money.
I would just save up,
Use what you have.
right? And then we would go into a business. Hey, what do you want to do now? Let's do this. And we'd give it a shot, right? And we learned how to set up the, I can't begin to.
Like when I was painting, I had my paints and like that's whatever I had. And I remember being on jobs and being like, okay, I need this color. I gotta make it out of like 4 different ones because you have to be resourceful. Like when you're working for yourself and you don't have the money to go just blow on everything, you're probably better off than if you went and took loans and had too much stuff.
You pick up new skills every time. But as long as you have that bottom, that way that you can always turn a buck on your own. Like I said, for me, I always had my toolbox and I always knew how to fix cars. It gave me the chance to try countless different businesses without any risk of failure. If it fails, I don't care. I just go turn wrenches again. And it's the same attitude I have with YouTube today. YouTube's been fantastic. This is the best year we ever had. This is the best last few months we've ever had. But it could turn to shit tomorrow morning. And if it does, I'm fine with it because I have my toolbox and I have my mechanical skills. And I'll just turn wrenches until the next thing pops up.
Yeah, you need to know that you're resourceful. So whatever circumstances you're in, you'll land on your feet.
Exactly.
That's more important than having a ton of money because you'll go through that.
You'll blow through money, but you'll never blow
money.
through your skills.
Yep.
You'll never blow through your knowledge or your experience.
Right. Battle Wolf sent you $5.
Thank you.
Hey Tony, recently I picked up a 74 354 barrel Camaro LT. Should I put in a new crate engine or leave it alone?
What's wrong with the motor that's in it? I mean, a crate motor, yeah, they're convenient and they're cheap, but it's still a pig in a poke. So, my choice would be to rebuild the one that you have if it needs a rebuild. But, it's up to you, man.
Craig Cheetah says, guys, I saw a friend make $3,000 a week in scrap metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Oh, there were times when scrap was high. We did that too.
I'm going to start telling people And I broke my bolt a long time ago. Oh, funny.
There's always more bolts.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. Um, Tell us about the coffee roaster you invented. Oh, you used a bread machine.
I wish I
Yeah,
could
you
take
used a
credit for
bread
that.
machine.
I can't even take credit for that. She had an artist friend. This guy was really good. We had an art gallery for a couple of years, and she had an artist friend, and the guy's name was Joseph. So my night business was a coffee house, and she ran an art gallery. I ran a coffee house, and Joseph would come to the coffee house afterwards, and I says I want to roast coffee. So I want to learn how to roast coffee. So I was looking at buying a roaster. So he says, I can make you one. I says, okay, fine. So he comes up with this contraption using a bread maker, a bread machine. He rewired this thing so that instead of doing one thing, it would do the other. And I was talking about
Yeah.
15 years ago, and I
Long
don't
time
remember
ago.
exactly the specifics. But it was a combination of a bread machine and a heat gun. And he built all of these insulated pans and things that would reflect heat this way and so on and so forth. Like he put a lot of science into the thing. And I started using it, and it worked really
It works
good.
really well.
It worked
Yeah.
really good. So we had a coffee house, and I put thousands of pounds of beans, and I roasted them all myself using this method, and it worked really well.
Yeah. Okay, we're almost done, Tony.
Okay.
Let's see. And then there was that time I sold a bridge. I'm going to sell UT's glasses from the other night. Hypnotize everyone. Raining slant sticks with a chance of cannonballs. Tony, have you seen or heard about those new 2 PC connecting rods on PRI, I believe? I wondered if you thought it was more snake oil salesmanship.
No, I haven't heard of it.
Good night. Dodge Boy says get better soon.
Thank you. I need that.
Ultraman. Y'all are great. Y'all are great, Dakota. 2 years ago, scrap was low but plentiful. 3,000 pounds of light iron, hundreds of pounds of aluminum per week. As long as you are not supporting a habit, it pays the bills.
You can make good money with scrap. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's an honest buck. Anything you can do
Right.
for an honest buck, man.
Big Belly Racing says good night. Okay, everybody gonna go to Ari's channel? I
Yes.
don't know if Ari's gonna do that. It's Christmas. Ari's probably like, I can't even believe they're on tonight. These pains in the asses.
After the Tony. It's Ari's channel.
What is it called?
Or is Ari's live.
Ari's Live.
After the Tony.
After the Tony. Scrap was crap 2 weeks ago.
It fluctuates. It fluctuates.
Let's see. Good night, Franco. Good night, Tony. He says, feel better, Alka-Seltzer.
Good night, Franco.
Ari says, I don't mind at all if everyone is still awake. Laugh out loud. All right. You
All right.
ready?
Yes.
Let's
we're
go,
gonna pull a
everyone.
plug. Guys, everybody contribute to Super Chat. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. It always helps. Ari, Fubar Zero, thank you guys for your friendship and your loyalty. And like 2023, more 2023. Everybody, all of our viewers, thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll be live New Year's night. We're doing New Year's Eve this year? I don't want to
I
do New Year's
don't
Eve.
know. I'm so
I
sorry.
don't.
No, we can go to our kids' house and
Yeah.
they can do it.
We can have a quiet one.
We can let Uncle Crystal do it.
Right. So we'll
Give her a break from the kids.
But we will be live New Year's night.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. To all of our friends and even all of our trolls.
All of our enemies.
And all of our
frenemies.
Right? And our frenemies. All of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
and Merry
you so
Christmas.
much.
We
And
love you guys.
Merry Christmas.
Have a great night.
Good night.